The program, Tinubu returns to Nigeria, dispels stories of ill health and affirms readiness to serve as Ohanaeze youth congratulate him, reject interim government. Afenifere declares resurgence of terrorism after 2023 elections, worrying. And later on the show, Apex offers evacuation of Nigerians trapped in Sudan. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Olayinka Oyebile. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Showing neither signs of ill health nor fatigue, the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu returned to Nigeria after 1 month of vacation in France. While addressing media and his teaming supporters, the president-elect said he is hale and hearty, contrary to speculations that he was seriously ill. He added that he is prepared for his inauguration on May 29, saying he's still consulting with those that will be part of his government. Meanwhile, the Apex Igbo socio-cultural organization, Ohanaeze Igbo Youth Council Worldwide, has congratulated the president-elect. Let's share the story with you.
Do I look like somebody who is sick?
Very fresh.
You jealous self. As you see me. So, whatever they like, they speculate. I'm healthy as sun, and I'm okay. And administration, you said, is not run alone. You don't govern alone. You govern with people. You consult. Assemble. And then hit the ground running.
The president-elect came back and he was looking so fresh and everything. In spite of that, his strategies as people that have not recovered from the election loss, people that want him dead, people that were carrying rumor that he's not going to come back, people that are saying that he's not going to be inaugurated, people that are saying that come May 29 he's going to die before that time, people that are saying that by the time he will be inaugurated, that no, something will happen, he will be arrested by soldiers and somebody is going to be made the interim head of Nigeria. They're still not convinced. They're still going after him, saying that he has one syringe under his arms and everything. Are you not tired?
They will never be tired. These are evil. Let me find the right words for these people.
They're not happy.
These are people overtaken by evil. You know? They are overtaken by evil, so they will not stop. Today, I was reading a story about the tweets that Adeyanju made.
Did you?
Yes, where he warned them that those of you wishing Tinubu dead, you could actually end up dying before him. He said this foolishness that you demonstrated against Buhari,
yes,
constantly saying Buhari will die,
and he's dead,
and later on you then claim that, oh, he's actually dead. What we have is somebody cloned, a certain person from Sudan,
yes,
and all that. Oh, they suddenly made Nigeria, you know, out of their stupidity, they made Nigeria the medical capital of the world. Because there's nowhere in the world where a human being has been cloned.
Not at all.
It was buried and Jubilee came in.
Only the ship was cloned.
Yeah. Just because of that hatred.
And it was agreed that no human being will be cloned. The best scientists in the world, none of them has successfully cloned a human being. You then, if Nigeria, a country like Nigeria, where people go live to go and take Medicare in Cameroon, you then concluded that our own president was cloned.
Just because
you gave us the title of, indirectly, the title of the medical capital of the world, where they do something that others have never done medically. Oh, the extent to which these people are going is actually instigated largely by some pastors who have disgraced their pulpit. I'm a Christian, but the extent of bile, the extent of hatred that some pastors have shown. One, because their prediction didn't come to pass.
Yes.
Which naturally, if
that
they
shows
have
that
shame,
God is not working with them.
If they have shame, they will ask for restitution.
Yes.
They are too big. These are God of men. God with the small letter G.
Yes.
They are too big to admit that, look, they got it wrong.
Yes.
I've seen probably the best at making predictions in this country. I've seen where he got it wrong and he recoiled into his shell for some time. Today's pastorpreneurs, they are so arrogant, and the feeling that, look, they are bigger than their congregation. They've even extended it to the rest of Nigeria. They think that they can just mount the pulpit and open their mouths anyhow, abuse people, and in the process, they are shaming Christendom without knowing it. Many people, you see, I've said something about this election. These pastors, what they fail to realize is that they have merely succeeded in not just discrediting the religion, but they've succeeded in demystifying the voting strength of Christians.
Yes.
That's what they don't realize. And I'm happy.
They dragged us into what they are not meant to drag us into.
Remember what Reno. Yes. Go back and read what Reno Mokri said. That was a mistake. The political direction that some of these deluded pastors took and poisoned the minds of their congregation was a mistake, because it shattered some myths about the capacity of the voting Christians in our country. You get the point that I'm making? And they do not realize it. What they want to see, because they fail to they don't know that God is not man. God is not man. What they want to see is that because they predicted that somebody will not win and he won, so they are trying to shoehorn their failed prediction into another form of reality by saying, oh, he will not get there. So that if, God forbid, he dies, they will say, we told you that the throne was not meant for him. We told you that he will not get there. If he gets arrested on inauguration day, as some deluded pastor has predicted, they will to remind me, we are moral midgets stand before
the congregation. It's a government is persecuting you.
We are moral midgets stand before thousands of people and speak like God. They will not realize that because they are human. Those frailties that have come to be identified with mere mortals, they are also guilty of it. If everything that people do in their closets can be exposed,
I'm telling you,
if it pleases God one day to say, okay, all of those things that you are doing in hiding, I want the world to see. What you will see some pastors do.
we know.
Some will sleep with their housemates, impregnate their housemates, but they won't let the world know. Some will do worse things. Some could even be involved in armed robbery. But, as we have seen, sometimes it pays for people to have some level of not just anonymity, but secrecy about the things that they do, so that people can still continue to see them for who they are not. People who have been living a lie for so long, you continue to say, this is a great man. He can speak excellent English. Oh, being able to speak excellent English and gather highfalutin words together and then add a gerund does not necessarily make you better than the ordinary human being. You are just privileged to speak good English that you can use to deceive people. It has reached a point that can. I pray that God will bless Khan with the right leadership that will call its men to order. Because some of the bile-filled remarks that pastors are making, honestly, it calls to question even their calling. Because some of those things, when you hear some of those things, you ask yourself that, was this person really called by God?
Or did God speak to him?
Because you don't have to use such words on people for God's sake.
Osama bin Laden. Somebody is Osama bin Laden. The other person is Narcos.
The other person is Escobar. And they thought he was making sense. Because people will clap.
Just they were clapping.
Because they are clapping for it doesn't necessarily mean that what you are saying that they like. I remember interviewing Pastor Tunde Bakari. I went with some of my editors, Bamdele Johnson and others, and he said, see, in this church, if I contest for election against my wife, I will be defeated. Yes, it was inside this church that we went to do that interview when I was editor of the news magazine. He said, if I contest against my wife, she would defeat me. The people like her more than they like me. And I'm like, oh. So that the people are clapping doesn't really mean that what you are saying sits well with them. But we've got to not allow these people to thoroughly distract us because we have a mission. The man is back. They're having meetings. Issues around the leadership of the National Assembly.
There's assignments.
They have to be decided quickly. And other things. Because if Tinubu fails, we are in trouble as a country. Look at the level that we found ourselves. People are yearning, even those who hate him, in their hearts they are praying. I have some friends who are die-hard PDP. They are praying in their heart that if he gets there, if he can just change the fortune of our country, they will be happy. That's what people want to see.
It's about Nigeria.
It's about Nigeria. It's not about a pastor.
It's too bad. Your candidate did not win. Just wait for another 4 years.
I mean, you say, how do you even go before a court? You said you've gone before a court.
Okay,
you're busy hitting up the policy.
The court will settle the
You know, yesterday, there's a friend of mine that we talk a lot. He's a northerner. I guess he called me earlier in the day. He said, Ola, I heard that the president-elect is arriving at 2 p.m. I said, I read something like that, but I'm not sure. Around 4 something, my phone rang. Immediately I picked it up. You know what he said? He said, Jagaban Yazo Magana Yadao.
Meaning?
Jagaban de already in Yoruba. Meaning, Jagaban has come, the talks have begun. And exactly what he said, not more than 5 minutes after he said it, I went on social media, I went on Twitter and so on, and I saw a lot of things. That has confirmed what the guy has said.
So disappointed that it's not there, perhaps.
In a nutshell,
They will be very sad.
In a nutshell, what it has brought in is that, look, the Yoruba will say, it is only a dead man or a dead person. Even a dead person, they talk about him. And you always pray that they should always talk about you. The man has come. He said he's a hale and hearty. Who are you?
Look at him.
Who are you to come out and say that
somebody even said, so you know, somebody said that I looked at my leader and it appears that his belly is even bigger. So we burst into laughter. One governor last night.
And you know, so many pictures have surfaced on the net. They said he has something under his arm. Did he? No.
Are you not tired? Are you not tired?
This is today.
What I see here is that
fresh.
The man,
the national chairman, visited him.
Has disappointed a lot of people in terms of coming back healthy and
coming back, not in body bag.
Exactly. So what remains now is for him to bend down to work. All hands must be on deck.
Hit the gun running.
What has happened now is that everybody is expecting a turn away from the past. We don't want a situation where we are going to spend another 2 months. In fact, 1 month is too much
to
for us.
Cabinet.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
So we must hit the ground running and let everything begin to run. So for those who continue to say it's not well, you know, we said it here before. You remember in the 80s, people who said Nnamdi Azikiwe died.
Yes.
Many of them
exactly.
Many of them even died before the man. So who are you? Do you have any man's record in your hand to pull the plug? Exactly.
So
the important thing is that the man is back. Jagaban Yazo Magana Yadao. He has come and talks have begun. But we must always, in fact, I look at it sometimes and I ask myself, why is the media always also promoting this? But the media will also want to sell his product.
They want to use his name.
And some have mischief.
Of course. Mischief and selling your product is part of the business. So now every hand must face, every eye is on him. What I see in the election that happened that brought him in is a personal vote testimony for him. Not so much for the party, but for him as an individual that, look, we believe you can do it. Let us see. And he needs to show Nigerians that, yes, your faith in me is not misplaced. I am ready to put my hand on the plow and work and make things better.
Senator Godswill Akpabio there, Senator Kwayemi Bamdele, the governor of Ekiti State, Bow.
Yes.
This is the visual for today. Actually receiving
Barrow and
yes.
So
the background.
Do you see a man like this and say he's not? I mean, so attention should shift not from his health to what he needs to do.
I'm sure he too is not distracted. He's not part of
No.
Every time. You see, the thing is, you know, for the past, maybe even more than 6 years, anytime he travels, we will have controversy. He must not travel again. He must not travel. If he travels, he's going to do surgery. There was a picture that somebody even posted where the person on the bed appeared to have died. And they had the effrontery to say that Tinubu is dead.
Yes. He's dead officially.
I don't understand.
So they can confirm it that he's no more on the face of the earth.
The joy of some people who call themselves Christians is, let this man just die.
You hate him to that extent.
They hate him to that extent. And they will come, some of them will wear good clothes and go to church on Sunday. You are deceiving yourself because you are not Christian, you are not Christ-like.
Even going against the scripture because
you are not Christ-like.
The Bible even
wishing someone evil, wishing someone dead.
Exactly. You don't even wish your enemy dead. Talk less of. I mean, so
I don't understand.
Okay, I have Awa on the line. Thank you for joining us, Awa.
Ayo, good evening.
Good evening, Awa.
Ayo, you see, it's time we ignore people. There is nothing we have not had with Buhari. They said he was going to die. They told us that he was cloned. The same people that were saying he was going to die died before him. A lot of them died. I know like 3 that have died. A lot of them that are saying he was cloned are the same people today that are saying Aswaju he will die or he's sick or he went to hospital. Whatever it is, he is in his 70s and he needs to take care of himself for God's sake. I'm in my mid-40s. Ayo, I go often, like once or twice in a year, to check myself. One needs to take care of himself. Do you know how rigorous it is to go around Nigeria campaigning? Do you know how rigorous it is to campaign in this country? Do you know, even us that we go as advanced party leaders, VIPs with the president, do you know how hectic it is? The jet lag, the stress and everything. You come back to town and you go home straight. 7 a.m. you are on the road. Sometimes they go to 2 states. You think anybody that is not healthy can do that? Nobody. As young as I am, sometimes I refused to follow them. But Asuwaju was everywhere. What are they saying? In Kano, when we went to Kano, from the government house to the stadium, it's not more than a 15-minute drive. It took them like 3 hours. And this man stood till he entered. He came in and they said he should just talk on the bus and left. He said no, that he's coming down. He came down through all that crowd, went to the podium, spoke, came back and went up. Do they think it's easy? Can they, as healthy as they think they are, do what he did in the last 3 months and still stay alive? He is fine by God's grace, and Asuwaju will lead this country for 8 years, inshallah.
Amen.
Forget about them.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you for your contribution. You know, in spite of, you know, some youths, they've sold that idea to them because of the election, before the election, there's so much demarketed demand that's hands shaking, legs can't walk and everything. Yes, that is always supported to work. Despite the fact of what they are saying now, they still don't believe.
No,
they think it's old.
Very soon they are going to say it's cloned. Just wait for them. Because we are dealing with people who have lost their senses. They are still going to tell us that it's cloned.
You know, some people, no matter what you say, it is what they believe or what is in their own mind.
Yes.
That
they're not happy.
No,
the thing is,
so sometimes when the security people are beside him, they say no, that they are
holding him. Just look at them and
that is it. That they can't walk alone.
Now that he's sitting,
SSS will be doing
some
their
might
job.
be saying, why is he sitting down while others are standing up?
Yes,
as Ebenezer
it's just like on the day they gave him his certificate.
Yes, of return.
Certificate of return.
Yeah.
I said that day, I was watching to see whether his hand will shake. I said it here. Go and watch that video a million times. As he held it, the things remained firm in his hands. And the way he got up from his chair with a swagger, despite that rigorous campaign, it says a lot about his physical well-being. Some of us that we have weight, we do not have to even get up. We can't get up as briskly as people like that. Yet all we just, because you did not want him to win. There are people that we took seriously. That's why I will agree with Alwa to an extent, although we will not stop talking. There are some people that you took seriously. You want to engage in an argument with them because you think they are sensible. Somebody sent a message to me yesterday that don't forget, Abiola tried more than this, but did not become president. I knew clearly that he was already heading towards their wish, which is that he should drop dead before that time.
Inauguration.
You know,
some people will
as someone that I took it for granted that this person will never get to the point of talking like that. And he said, don't forget him. Yes, he said, look, Jide, you are tribal, this and that. You are tribal, Jide is tribal. Yet nobody on TV has fought for Nnamdi Kanu more than me. Either on issues with Jide or this program. I know friends that fought me. That why are you asking for dialogue?
His release.
Yes, why are you asking for his release? But these guys are blinded even to the past. Whatever you said, because they do not agree with you in this instance, to them, you are nobody, you are a tribalist. They want to bring everybody into their own negative cocoon. But it will not happen. It will not happen. You can actually wish that this man would die. You are looking at him, and it is you who will die before him. That's the message from Adeyanju. We've seen that happen. Keum, by the way, was even reading, he even carried an obituary for Zeke that had not died.
It has happened before, so...
And Zeke said, I am probably the first person to read his own obituary while alive. I remember reading that thing. In the end, he died before Zeke. He died before Zeke. All of them who came out, who were trying to do committee of well-wishers, this and that for Zeke, the people to make the noise that Zeke was dead, they eventually died before him.
Long even before the man died.
So this is the way of God. Nobody can explain.
Not even your pastor.
Your pastor is just like any other person.
He's just like any other
he's just like any other person.
He doesn't even know his own.
Does he know the day he would die? Does he know how he would die? That one is not prediction.
It's neither here nor
ordinary statements that they are calling ordinary statement prediction.
It's just
it's not prediction. It's not somebody making ordinary statement, something from his heart.
Figment of your imagination.
It's called making it a prediction, and then people will start clapping.
I think all said and done, it's just a challenge to the president-elect that prove all these people wrong.
Silence your distractors.
Exactly.
Be determined to silence your distractors with performance.
Exactly.
They say success is the best revenge.
Exactly.
You know? And revenge is a meal that is best served cold.
So that those people will
It's a meal that is best served cold. And success is your best revenge. When people tell you that, look, you can't get there, prove them wrong. When you prove them wrong, walk in front of them with a swagger. You know?
And let them see.
Let them see that,
then show them.
And it's only
Yes, so.
Don't call it alarm.
Yes, so like that man in Kirikiri now predicted. He said he was working with swagger. In Kirikiri.
That's the way he's working with a swagger.
Yes, he will work with swagger.
It's not the first one. We've seen